What's good, world? MIAB back here with another reaction video. Like always, there's something new, and also if you ain't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video that I post. Let's get into it. It's gonna be a long video we're doing together, yeah. And I'm hitting my bong. I don't even care. We smoking together and we talking together, and y'all gonna deal with it. It's gonna be an hour-long video. I'm gonna talk about all the stuff to come with UFC, all the stuff that happened in 2024, wrap up the year. But first I want to get into the awards, obviously, because that just happened a couple days ago. And I might as well just get straight into those because a lot of great fighters won some great awards. And honestly, this was the first year I really felt like a lot of them were well-deserved. A lot of the awards were well-deserved, especially like there was two fighting for like the Fighter of the Year award this year. And it was just great to see like it was like a real competition this year. Alright, now back to it before my computer rudely interrupted me and decided to exit out of everything I just freaking worked on building. Technology. What am I going to do? Anyway, like I was saying, two people competing this year. It really felt like a competition. Two different weight classes, too. That's the great thing. And it felt like anybody could have won. With Ilia Topuria knocking out Alex Volkanovski and Max Holloway in 1 year. And then also Alex Pereira having like the most dominating championship run in 1 year for what, light heavyweight? How many did he had 3 lightweight, heavyweight title defenses in 1 year. 2 against the same person and 1 against Jamal. Which I'm going to get into the Jamal Hill one, but that's for later. Let me break down these damn freaking rewards. I wrote them down. Yeah, see? Bro, it's crazy because Max Holloway claimed the knockout of the year. That was on Justin Gaethje. I know everybody knows that one. I think it was UFC 300. Again, I don't be remembering all these. I'm not the guy that's going to come breaking down the stats. I'm coming down to break down what I like and what makes sense. What I want to talk about. I ain't work for ESPN or UFC, so I could do that. But that fight was crazy. It was an insane fight. I think Max Holloway really stood his ground. And honestly, it was just terrible because it set him up for such a bad fight. And I don't know if the UFC literally made that happen or if he wanted it. I don't think it. It don't feel like Max wanted the fight, but it felt like he had to do it anyway because it just made sense. Anyways, Max Holloway knocks out Justin Gaethje. It sets him up for the fight against Ilia Topuria to end the year. That was bad. Ilia could fight. Ilia is a little man, but he could fight. I don't know what it is, but you guys better be worried because I think he's going to hold that belt for a while unless another person in another weight class comes and tries to take it from him. But then again, I don't even think that's going to happen. Speaking of that, Ilia Topuria earned the Breakthrough Fighter of the Year, which is not surprising. I mean, like I said, he beat Alex Volkanovski, which is a long-time title holder, and he also beat Max Holloway, who was a long-time striker. Can't really argue there. You already know the type of year he had. If you watched this year, if you watched any fights this year, then you heard about him at least once. Because after he beat Alex, they just kept... He called it, did it. Went to Max, called it, and did it. I remember watching the video face-off, which was a little weird. It just felt like... it felt like it made sense because these two wouldn't have been able to be in the same room, but it was a little weird. I ain't gonna lie, because why the hell did we do a video interview instead of just having them go face to face? But in the video, I could see that Ilia was way too hyped to fight Max, and Max looked way too calm, and he just didn't look ready. He just didn't look hungry like before, and I've seen Max hungry. I don't know. That's just me, though. Let me take a look. Woo. Like I was saying, getting into the next award. Again, I didn't write down all the awards. I only wrote down like the big ones. Eventually, one day, I'm going to start doing like deep dives into all this stuff, but I just try to keep it simple because, again, I'm just getting started on these UFC videos. I've been watching for years and years and years, but I never actually went and did the videos or the reactions. Alex Pereira, most dominant champion with 3 lightweight, heavyweight, can't even speak today. With 3 light heavyweight title defenses. What was it? Yuri and Jamal, yeah? It was a good year, honestly. Yuri's a weird style fighter. I don't know what it is about that samurai style, but it really felt like it was just too easy for Alex. Honestly, it was just that style just doesn't match up. If you put that in front of anybody, like spacing is just too wide, and even Floyd Mayweather said, if you're hitting jabs and you're throwing shots like that, you're just leaving yourself open. And to somebody like Alex, that's just it's an easy payday. Easy payday. And just like how he beat Jamal, that was bad. That was bad. Let's see if we can look at that. Let's see if I got that one saved. See with the stop too. That's what got me. Let me see what we got here. UFC Awards. There we are. And you have to give it to Jamal too, because Jamal really wanted to fight him, and he just didn't respect all that bullshit that everybody was trying to give to him. And he didn't respect all the crap everybody was feeding him. You know, the little chain that he got with the stone head, that was super fire. It's just momentum. I think momentum is everything in this fight game, and when you have momentum like that, it leads you to stuff like what Joaquin Buckley did to Colby, ass whooping. And I just don't think, again, the technical stuff with the referee and stuff can also throw off the fight, which also I feel like I can't really have a say because I never really fought in the cage, but I've watched this for more than 20 years, literally since I was a young kid. Watching pay-per-views. All I'm saying is that momentum is everything, and Jamal had that momentum. He was building it, and it came crashing down by some momentum that was even bigger. And you can't mark that up because he had such a great year. Oh, what else do we got? We had Brian Ortega's submission victory over Yair. He earned like the best comeback. I never understood that though. It almost feels like Brian Ortega's fights are literally all comebacks. He's had like very few where he's dominated the whole fight. His style it just doesn't cover up, bro. I feel like he's literally a walking punching bag. He's standing there just getting punched a million times no matter who he's fighting. So obviously he could have got that in any fight if he would have submitted them in the end. But it's a great job to him again to come back after getting so many punches and so many kicks and so much wrestling and all that tiring, and to come back and submit him the way he did was crazy. But I don't know. I feel like all Brian Ortega's fight go like that. But I'm gonna give him the respect because he's had a little good year, and then everything came crashing down. Shavkat stood undefeated. I already knew that was gonna happen. Couldn't argue there. Who was he going to? He went against Ian last fight. I don't even think that was a challenge for him. It was a bunch of wiggling, a bunch of dancing on the side of the cage, which I don't know. I feel like that was an easy game for Shavkat. He just made it even better for him. And if anything, I feel like when you're playing into their game, it's just not the way to go. And Ian feels like he did stuff, but I feel like control is control. No matter how you want to put it, control is control. Shavkat was controlling the whole fight until like the last minute, last 30 seconds. And even though if he would have choked him out, that would have probably been the best comeback victory choke if Ian would have did that to Shavkat. But that didn't happen, so we're sitting here today talking the opposite. And Shavkat is an undefeated run, securing him the Rising Star recognition of that award. And last one I have written down is Islam Makhachev. He did that fight with Dustin Poirier, which I don't even know how Dustin got in there, but he ended up getting in there for a fight, and here we are now. Dustin ends up getting himself in there. It was such a good fight until it wasn't a great fight anymore because I think Dustin was just too willing to fight. It's like you can go in there with skill and tactic, but you have to go in there with willingness to win, not just willingness to fight. I feel like that's what separates some of the champions from some of the other fighters is when you see them. And then sometimes the champions, they lose that willingness. They just come there to fight. Happens to the best of us. I mean, what do? We had our time. Everybody has a prime, and everybody gets through that prime. Now for 2025, there ain't much to talk about. I'm gonna be realistic with y'all. Just the stuff that's coming up in January, the fights, and obviously the heating up beefs and stuff like that. But I want to stick to what's happening. Maybe shoot down some stuff that's not happening, and also talk a little bit of shit because I just love to do that anyway. But I did want to get into the one thing I'd seen, and it was the Alex versus Kamzat. Although if that would be a great fight, and it'd be dope to see. I don't know why people are entertaining that. I don't even think that's the weight classes is definitely a thing for a reason. I mean, Conor McGregor found that out in a hard way. Again, that's not for everybody to do. John Jones is probably like the only fighter to do that undefeated and actually dominate multiple weight classes, and that's just not for everybody. So I feel like for Kamzat to move up at the status he's at right now, when he can literally fight for the belt next, it would just be dumb for him to go out there and put himself on the line, even against Alex Pereira. It would be a big fight, but it'd be a stupid weight build, and it wouldn't really make sense for his career wise, because now he's stuck at the higher weight class when he could have worked his way up, and he would also be going up 2 weight classes. I don't think that's happening. Again, there's weight classes for a reason. That's just my opinion. That's just one thing I wanted to shoot down, because I just don't think that's possible to happen at all. But again, who knows? We might see that this year if we get lucky. We got Conor versus Logan is like the most stupidest thing that I've heard this year so far. I mean, to end the year so far, like, I don't even know how that's possible. After Conor's last charges and everything he was just dealing with, I don't understand how the fuck he would even be able to do any of that, to be honest. And Logan Paul, to everybody, is a way, way bigger person than Conor McGregor, and I don't care how much skill he has. Even when he fought Mayweather, it looked like Mayweather was holding back on him. So I don't think he wants to get in the ring with Logan Paul, especially with the fact that Logan Paul's like 7 feet almost, feels like, but he's like 6 something, and he's like a big dude already. And again, like I said before, weight classes matter. And he's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not as skilled at defense to not get hit as well as Mayweather did. He's going to go in there, he's going to get bopped up a few times. He might even get knocked out going against Logan Paul. And it's Logan Paul, but he's strong. He's a big kid. He's not going out there against no little... He has a better chance boxing Colby Covington than going in there to box Logan Paul. I don't even know why he would ever do that, but he said somewhere in India or something like that that's supposed to really happen, but I doubt that will happen due to the fact that all of these UFC fighters have weird contracts where they're like exclusive fighters to certain deals, and the only reason why Conor was able to fight Floyd Mayweather is because Dana literally approved that. And if Dana didn't literally approve that, then that would have never happened. And Dana obviously only did that because he knew it was big, big, big money. And there's not another Conor McGregor right now in the UFC that he's willing to bank on for that. And I don't even know if they made the money they were supposed to. It could have made money, but maybe not exactly what they were supposed to. And that's another reason why he probably hasn't done these cross-platform things again. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Conor versus Logan. At this point, we just need to see Conor get back in the UFC, finish up his contract, retire, throw his gloves down, and just call it a day. Because honestly, playing around with his career the way he's doing and stretching this out is just not working. It's just making him look like a goofball. Now he's dealing with silly charges from the past that had happened during his career, and it's even worse. He ended up ending on that leg kick, which was terrible. There's just too many things going on right now. I think the best thing for him to do is finish it up with retiring, because it almost feels like him trying to fight Logan Paul is desperate, and that, I mean, sometimes desperate works, but this is just not gonna get him where he wants to be. He's already that person. He doesn't need to keep trying to be that person. I don't know what it is. Again, I just be thinking about it, because at the end of the day, why the hell would he do that? He could literally go in there, fight Michael Chandler and finish up his contract and get the hell out. Then maybe go fight Logan Paul. But all these in-between things that Conor's been doing, when we know he's supposed to have been fought already in the UFC, these 3 years of waiting with Michael Chandler. You got Michael Chandler waiting. Michael Chandler already had a whole nother fight. And this dude is over here fighting fucking charges that are just crazy out the world that I'm not even going to talk about. But I'm just saying in general, like, and he's worrying about fighting Logan Paul. I feel like he shouldn't even be pushing that. I feel like that should be the last thing he's pushing right now. If anything, he should be pushing a comeback to the UFC and trying to figure out how we're going to get back. But then again, who am I? Can't tell how to be, where to be, when to be, how to be. All right. And who's to even say that Logan Paul wants to fight Conor? Like nobody even asked Logan Paul if he wants to fight Conor. Like, all we know is that Conor McGregor's been saying this shit, and there's no real proof behind this. Give me 1 second. Gotta get an ashtray. My bad, y'all. Let's go get another ice from my drink. If y'all can tell, see, look at this. Go get a little, a little circle, a sphere. I got my sphere maker over there making me some ice. It's gonna take about a quick 30 seconds and I'm back. When I went and grabbed this drink, it really made me think. And I was just over there thinking, and I was like, Conor would fight Logan Paul just so he doesn't have to go in the UFC and risk his record because he's such a dickhead. Isn't that crazy to think? And the fact that he would do that is why it'd be hard to be a fan. You know what? I got it for a ashtray and I never grabbed it. Also, look at the cool ice I got. Make sure y'all watch the full video. I'll be right back. 1 second. Conor McGregor would probably really do that, and I ain't gonna lie, that's fucked up. That's fucked up for real. If he were to go out there and fight Logan Paul before even returning to the UFC, it's almost a shit on the UFC and all the UFC fans, if you ask me. So I want to take this moment to say thank y'all for tuning in. Sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, tell your friends. Okay, y'all can say whatever y'all want about me, but I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, next topic. One of my favorite YouTubers, well, maybe not my favorite, but somebody that I really watch a lot, and somebody that I also think is super funny because he just always got beef with everybody for some reason, and if he doesn't have beef with them yet, then he always got something loaded up in the chamber to let loose. But I was on YouTube and I seen this pop up the other day, and MMAGURU versus Colby Covington is probably one of the most funniest matchups, internet matchups ever. And I know we can all agree on that. We have to all be able to agree on that. No, baby, I just came out being sick, so I'm a little heavy breathing right now. But I don't care because the marijuana is my medicine. Nah, not my medicine. It's just bedtime, so I have to smoke a little before going to bed. And I'm drinking a little because it's the weekend. And I already, I had a successful Christmas. Good happy holidays to everybody. And now I get to celebrate, living a life. But I did watch the fact that MMAGURU had Colby Covington on his show. They had a whole cordial conversation, no ticks, no nothing, which I was very shocked about because I thought they would at least argue about something kind of like a Chael and Ariel situation, but Kobe being way more fucking vicious. But it didn't go like that. I mean, MMAGURU kept it real classy. I mean, I'm sure he's trying to do that for his YouTube channel and all that stuff, but I don't know. I kind of wish they just kept it real with each other and would have just talked about it on there. Maybe addresses the ifs and the outs and the whatever in person or in that video call, then to wait till after the fight and then to start dissing each other was kind of weird. I don't know if anybody else thought the same thing, but I definitely thought it was weird. Yeah, it was definitely weird. It almost felt like it was planned, and now it feels like when they do the episode 2, it's going to be even bigger. Which, toodles to them, but all I'm saying is that if they were in a heated debate or anything, it would be super fun to watch. It would be super funny. They would attack the fuck out of each other. They would make me laugh. I'm sure it would make all of y'all laugh. I'm sure we would have the greatest time listening to these two go back and forth on YouTube videos and maybe even an interview and maybe even whatever else, because, you know, both of them don't give a fuck. And both of them will come at each other. And that is the funniest fucking point about the whole thing. And that's what I love about both of them. But sometimes you don't know if it's the persona or the person. And that's why I don't know about, again, who the fuck am I? Let me be real with y'all. I'm a MIAB. Maybe y'all don't know me. Y'all gonna know me one day. But I don't know if it's the persona or the person. So, like, MMAGURU, he seems like a nice dude, maybe outside the camera. Or the biggest dick. I don't know if it's one or the other. And then it's the same thing with Colby. He can either be the nicest dude or the biggest dick. And that I'm ready for. I can't wait to see that. Y'all let me know if y'all can see that. Because I'm ready to see that. Speaking on beefs, though. I tried to do a big deep dive. YouTube, Google, Wikipedia, your mom. Literally, I asked everybody about this information. I could not find where MIAB and Umar's beef stemmed from, what happened. I'm just going to assume that it's something to do with their countries and going back and forth. Because in the end, everything I looked up online, it just didn't make any sense. Excuse me. But it almost seems like it's just a bunch of Twitter beef. Just a bunch of memes and stuff like that coming at each other. And for one of them, it's a joke, and one of them's trying to get a title fight, and one of them's taking it very serious. And I kind of hope. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I'm a MIAB fan. I mean, I respect the Nurmagomedovs. I think I said that right. But I don't know. Something about MIAB, it feels like he's just trying to take everything he can to, like, get him hyped up for the fight. It feels like he's just kind of like what John Jones did with Stipe. Get, if you're a fight fan, you know. He's just, like, trying to use anything he can to build up some momentum just so he can have room to talk shit to the guy or make him feel like he needs to earn him his respect, or he needs to go out there and take it from him so he can know what it's like to be a man. Like, just like he was saying. And I get it, but it all only makes sense if MIAB goes out there and wins, right? Because if he loses, it does make it seem like he was scared. And then again, it depends how he loses. This is like a weird game. It's a very weird game. But I honestly think MIAB is playing this game very smart. He's went against, I want to say it correctly, 4 former champions. He's played the game. He's done it with Sean. He's done it with Sean even when Sean was doing it with Sterling. Lead up for him when he fought Sean, and he ended up beating Sean. So that's why I feel like MIAB is ready. I think, if anything, he's been across opponents that MIAB hasn't even seen yet. Corey Sandhagen was a good fight, but, like, who is that? Like they're not going for the belt. They're not people who, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people we gotta worry about. And I feel like that's what MIAB was trying to say. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't really matter because he was gonna get the title fight anyway. Anybody that's in the fight and they got an O, they should be working their way towards that belt no matter what. Plus, and the way he beat Corey Sandhagen was a great win. You got to give it to Umar. And on top of that, it should count somewhere that you are Khabib's cousin. It should count. I'm not going to say it to be biased, but I'm going to say it because if you put all the work in, you got Islam that's out here holding the belt doing what he's doing, why wouldn't you? I mean, you're going to follow the trend. You're going to follow what's going on. It's really up to MIAB to go out there and prove all that hype is just hype. All in the Magomedov bullshit, gotta go for Dvalishvili. And then after that, we can see if he really meant it, or if he was actually just didn't want to have the fight and he was just mad that he had to do it. And this is what the champion mentality comes to, and that's why I feel like MIAB might win, because he's had to be in this experience a couple of times, and I feel like the hype might get over to Umar, because even looking at him in the face-off, he didn't look like he was bothered by MIAB, but he looked like he was bothered by the lights. And even Sean got bothered by the lights. It's just can't happen to the best of us, best of them, best of anybody. When the lights come, you got to see who shines under the light, and that's what we're gonna wait to see. And I think MIAB is gonna do that. I don't know what the last name is supposed to mean or being his cousin, but I do understand why he's fighting for it. And now, like I said, it's a chance for MIAB to go out there and actually do what he's supposed to do. Also, I've been seeing so many people try to act like MIAB doesn't have the skills or anything. Like, most of the time, MIAB's playing with his food. Like, if y'all understand, sometimes MIAB goes out there, he ain't looking for the finish, but he's in there feeling what it's like to be in there with the best. So he knows what it's like. And it's hard to explain, but that's what it always feels like. When he looked like he could have finished Sean many times, and he just kept stretching it out to keep try to test himself and try to learn the game. But again, we'll see. I think he's going to get in there where Umar is going to take him a round or two, and then he's going to get in there, he's going to finish him. It's going to be simple like that. It's just that he just needs to get a little bit in there to feel that he's much better than him, much more skilled than him. He just needs to be stronger than him here. Anyways, a lot of people talking about the bad guy, the one and only, the myth, the legend, Chael Sonnen, saying all his views are falling off and he's not the same guy he used to be. Shit. Got me out here looking like the bad guy. No, I'm just kidding. Saying his views ain't where he's supposed to be or where it used to be, and he don't post the best videos like he used to, and just all this crap. And honestly, I believe it. Honestly, I'm going with that because it does seem like that. Seems like Chael's giving all his content, all his most important stuff to the UFC and all that good guy, bad guy shit, and then he's saving the crap for his actual channel on the YouTube, so it's just making all the views go down. Although, Chael could talk about anything and it's interesting. It's like, we want to see his predictions and all that stuff. We want to see him talk about fights and the previous fights and the after the fights. But now it feels like he does all that on, excuse me. It feels like he does that on Good Guy, Bad Guy now. And we miss out on all of that on the actual channel, because I remember before it was way more better content, way more like in depth before, and I used to watch every video, and now he'll post the same caption to the video, but the video won't be as good as an in-depth, not a good enough breakdown like what he's doing now. He's taking all that same information and doing it on Good Guy, Bad Guy instead of keeping it on his YouTube channel and doing both, because maybe some people only watch one or the other. All I'm saying is that it makes sense, but it also feels like this UFC has these weird contracts or something like about it. Because it feels like they're either overpaying them more than what YouTube's paying them, or it feels like the UFC has like exclusive contracts with certain things. If you want to talk about UFC to a certain point, you have to sign like a certain agreement with them. And I feel like that's exactly why Chael's YouTube isn't doing as big as it was, because I don't think he maybe thought about that. And with the UFC knowing about streaming way more than a lot of these fighters, I think that's what they are. They're just streamers. They're putting them in front of the camera to just talk about what's happening, and they're taking their live streams or their views and they're taking advantage of it. Chael just proved that he could do the same thing on his own YouTube channel, talking about whatever the fuck he wanted to talk about and get the same amount of views. And the UFC see that, they said, "Now we're gonna take you over here," and now people think he's losing out. But I think it's a win-win situation, because now he has his YouTube and his thing. The only thing that y'all not seeing is that he's not having the same information on his YouTube channel like he used to, but it's all the same content. It's all the same stuff. He might just, he did do the dick break video, and I don't know what was good with that. But again, he might run out of content and just be posting shit. It just seems like he's just trying to keep up with all the information that he needs to get out. Because on top of the information he needs to get out, he has to do it on multiple platforms repetitively. Even when he's calling the fights, he has to repeat so much stuff so many times. I didn't hear him repeat himself so many times, and then he goes and does it on Good Guy, Bad Guy, and then he does it on his channel. And people will complain about him missing one word that he didn't say on the other one. Like, it's just a fan. It all depends where you are or where you're watching it, because if you're watching it in the right areas, you'll get all the information and the same feeling. But I can see that his YouTube channel is changing, and I feel like that's the UFC's fault. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that Chael loves the UFC. I don't know if it's he owes them something or he just likes to be around Daniel. I don't know, but it seems like it. Or it seems like he's getting tired of it, because it seems like pretty soon he might be doing something else, because honestly it doesn't look like he has that same energy for ESPN like the way he used to. But we'll see about that, honestly. I was just saying I wanted to bring up, because I be seeing a lot of stuff people talk about on YouTube and all the comments and stuff like that, and it just don't be making sense. Like, y'all gotta be real. Chael is Chael. He can talk about whatever he wants. He could do it wherever he wants, and y'all gotta tune in and listen. He talked about a dude's dick breaking, and when I looked at the video, it had 13,000 views. That's a lot of views, more than a lot of you, so can't complain there. Anyways, don't forget he's the bad guy. Last for this video, I want to get into the fact that Jamal Hill seems like he's just causing up a stir in every which way that he can, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't really matter because, I mean, he is him, and on top of that, he's literally waiting to fight, and I feel like he's doing anything he can to hype himself up, and he knows that even if he beats Yuri, he still has to get back to Alex. So on the point of all of that is, I'm saying, he knows he is him. He needs to feel that way, be that way, live that way. If not, you don't feel like you're him for a second, and you get in that cage, you're gonna find out. Which is what I wanted to get into, but I feel like everybody feels like he's losing it, and everybody's not taking into account that he is a very technical fighter, which means he thinks about most of the crap he be doing and most of the things he be doing way before he even does it. And anybody that says that he's just going to go in there and throw hands and just go in there and get knocked out by Yuri is completely insane, because Yuri couldn't even knock out Alex. And Yuri is a great fighter, but I don't think his style matches up for an MMA fight. He's not in a samurai fight. Anyways, my point of it is saying that I think Jamal coming at Alex and doing all this extra shit is just to hype himself up. Just pure confidence. Pure confidence boost. Why wouldn't he just help himself? I mean, he could sit there doing that shit all day, and everybody's going to share it and think that he's losing it. And at the end of the day, he could be in the training room getting way better. And nobody knows what the fuck he's doing because he's behind the scenes. Let me put this one up. Let me see what we got. We got it right here. I had all of these up to talk about, bro, but I'm still learning. Oh, we're gonna talk about George Masvidal too. Hold on, I don't got the Jamal Hill one, but I do got the Jamal Hill confronting Alex Pereira. I'm be real with y'all, he was wilding right here. Because if Alex would have stalled off on his ass, I don't think the UFC would have even cared. Just say it.
Oh, I wish. I can't wait. I hope you will hurt the hands to hurt your never forget what you're going to do with you. What? You're going to see. But I can't go shake the hands or no? Yeah.
That guy right there, he's a funny dude. He's a good translator. And it's funny because he's not just a good translator. He doesn't just take what Alex says sometimes. He says exactly what Alex says. Because sometimes I look up on Translate what they're saying, because translators just be searching it up. But I mean, Alex doesn't say much, but he keeps it straight up. All I'm going to say is this video just shows me that people are saying that Jamal should have pressed Alex. Like, that's like stupid. These are paid fighters, bro, that are making $100K or more to get in a cage with each other to actually deal with their problems than to do this shit here or whatever. But Alex, him stepping up and throwing the gloves at Jamal really shows that Alex can turn it on. Alex is a dog. Jamal's a dog. It's just two people that are hungry. It just reminds me of Daniel Cormier, John Jones. It's just that Jamal really feels like he could beat him, and Alex got one up on him now, and now it's getting even hotter and it's getting more intense. But I feel like this is what's gonna drag Jamal Hill into to be better, and that's not a good thing, because when you put a dog in there like Jamal Hill and you tell him to go get better and you put him in a cage and you leave him in there long enough, he's gonna figure out how to get out, and he's gonna be the only dog to come out the cage. And I'm not trying to be a rider, but Jamal Hill is very technical. He is very technical, and he is a good fighter. And I was watching a bunch of his fights. He is very good at movement. He's very good at getting up close, wrestling. I'm not hyping him up. I'm saying his next fight is against Yuri, who just lost to Alex 2 times. And not to have a battle who lost the best, but it's just like Tom Aspinall. Like, he hasn't been in there long enough to anybody to know what he's really about. That fight wasn't long enough for anybody to say who was dominating the first round. You know what I'm saying? And without that nut kick, who's to say which way it could have went? And who's to say that they would have kept backing up that far? And who's to say that whatever? I mean, even though Alex was practicing that punch, Alex was literally practicing. He always practicing that up against the cage hooks so he can get one of those nice ones across. And if he catches you on that night, and I mean, he's caught multiple people, and I mean, Sean Strickland out of sight, like just multiple people, and nobody wants to take him to the ground. So I mean, could you be mad at him, or do you be mad at people like that? Kamza is a good example. That's what Jamal Hill would need to do. Get in there, take his ankles, put him on his head, elbow him on some John Jones shit. Just get him a little weak. Don't try to win in the first round. Get to the second round, elbow him up again, get him weak. I mean, again, this is just what I see. And you just got to put pressure on. You got to make Alex feel like he can't do all that movement and all those punches, because you got to take that strength away, low-key, because if you stand up and strike him, it's just a bad day. And I know a fighter like Hamza, he wouldn't do that. And that's how I feel like a technical fighter, like whoever fights Alex next needs to be. It needs to be somebody who's going to take him down and wear him down, take all that strength off his arms. And hopefully it's Jamal. I mean, I'm hoping it's Jamal, but again, who the hell? Like, yo, they just bring people out of nowhere and just be signing them to UFC. And by the time a year passes by, they already built them up enough to be fighting for a belt. Like, I don't know, but honestly, I think Jamal Hill is just it's an easy dub for him. Easy dub against Yuri. It's gonna be a couple good shots are gonna get thrown. The only way that Yuri wins is if he catches him with like a head kick or something that's sneaky, nice little elbow or something sneaky. If it's not something sneaky, just straight fighting and punching and moving, it's gonna be a out win and out score for Jamal Hill. And I mean, that's just common sense. Anyways, enough about that fight. I mean, I talked about it on a breakdown of my last videos. Make sure you check that one out. But for the last thing I wanted to talk about was, I wanted to talk about this. I keep seeing videos of George Masvidal. He talks about returning, and as a giant Masvidal fan, I really hope he doesn't. I mean, I looked him up and it's 35-17. I feel like he's given us so much as a fighter from watching him on YouTube when I was super young, to watching him to the big time and all the fights that he's done had. I mean, boxing on the big show and not in the streets. I mean, he's gonna give us so much. I don't even want to see him get back in the cage again. I know he loves fighting and I know what it takes, but I mean, I know he knows what it takes. But I don't want to see him go out on the shield. Like, you just don't have to, bro. You don't have to go out on the sword. You don't have to feel that feeling, and you don't deserve to, because you didn't put the work in. You done things that not a lot of people do, and it's win, lose, and it's in life and in the game, in competition, and still be able to come out and say you're successful and you're still him. That's truthfully what I think. That's just my short take on it, because 35-17 is, I mean, it's more than 50-50, but I'm going to say it's 50-50 going in at your age now. You're not that same young dog no more. I mean, it doesn't even come down to skill at some point. At some point, it comes down to just getting kicked, and the kicks don't feel the same, to getting punched, and the punches don't feel the same, the hurting in your ankle and your elbow and your forearm and all this stuff, and then you're just not the same young buck you used to be. That's all I think. I hope George Masvidal stays retired, and if there is anything else, I hope he definitely doesn't come back to fight a contender. I hope if anything, he goes and boxes one more time, or even does bare knuckle. I'd love to see George Masvidal versus Mike Perry. That would be a great fight to see. I mean, if you're going to give us something like that, but don't go to the UFC trying to do all this wrestling, because that's all you're going to meet. You're going to come across somebody who doesn't want to do all that with you. And it's just going to be sad to see as a fan. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I don't know how long it's going to be. Make sure y'all check out the old ones, the new ones, and anything I post in the future, y'all going to know, because y'all going to hit that subscribe button. Check y'all out.